China's industrial enterprises are turning in profits for the first time in more than a year. August's monthly industrial profit rose 17.2% on the previous year. The industrial sector had been in contraction for the first 8 months of the year. However, the decline has slowed. August growth prompted an improvement in overall industrial profit outlook. Hong Hao is chief economist at Grow Investment Group in Hong Kong.
Well, I think the number is better than expected, and also it's the first positive growth since the second half of last year, so it's quite significant. But keep in mind that it shows a marginal improvement from last month, and also last year's very low base obviously contributed to this substantial increase. But if you look at the breakdown across industries, you're seeing almost all industries register slower decline or a minor profit growth in some of the industries such as the capital equipment. So I would say that low base and also a sort of a general improvement across industries in response to all the policies that we have in place in August. So hopefully the trend will continue from here.
And you mentioned technical equipment. What other specific industries are doing better than expected and are behind this rise?
EV, for example, is just doing exceedingly well. The battery industry is doing exceedingly well as well, and also train equipment, etc., etc. It's all heavy industrial equipments that are doing very well, and also the Chinese EV industry is starting to export overseas. So nowadays, for every 100 cars sold in China, I think close to 1/3 of them are EVs, and also the Chinese EVs are taking over in some of the European countries as well. So that's the reason why these industries are doing very well, register very high profit growth. I think for the other industry, though, even though the profit growth is still declining, but the decline is actually narrowing from comparing to last month. So I would say that overall, it's a general improvement across the board.
Mm-hmm. And so this improvement is very good news for China. It's good news for economies around the world. Do you think this can be sustained, though, this rebound in industrial profits, or is it perhaps temporary?
Recently, we're seeing the producers are able to charge more for their output. I think this is because a general rise in commodity price across the board as well. So we're seeing iron ore, crude oil, and to a certain extent, rebar and copper prices are rising. So I think as a result, the producers were able to charge a higher price for their products. And so, if you look at, for example, the PPI in upstream sectors, the deflationary pressure is lessening. And also downstream in the consumer sector, the CPI is coming back to the positive territory. So I think as a result, if you look at the difference between CPI and PPI, which is a proxy for industrial profits, it's actually enlarging. So I think as a result, people were able to charge more, and also, the outputs are priced at a higher price in the international market as well. So one would expect the positive trends in commodity price would continue well into the fourth quarter of this year. So I won't be surprised to see continuing improvement in industrial profits going forward.